And welcome to No Something Required podcast, a podcast where we talk about nothing. And now, welcome your trio of hosts, starting with Romina, the workhorse. And, of course, Audrey, sus as hell, Ember, and your dark lord of the interwebs, Roberto Blake. Welcome to No Something Required podcast, filmed in front of a live YouTube audience. Please like, subscribe, and review when you get a chance.
Very important to leave us reviews.
Indeed.
Even though I think we haven't looked at them in
God knows
a minute.
However,
I need to find a system to upload these consistently.
you ain't been doing that, Ember?
Wow.
You had one job, Ember.
I promise I will. I am. I promise I'll do it. I just need to figure that out. I need to. It's got to be part of my schedule weekly. Like this, we don't have this
Unbelievable.
problem.
Where's the time management?
Nowhere to be found.
I mean, that's a decent enough segue, isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
I'll take the roast as a segue.
I need like a roast
I don't
meme
think you
for the
have a
soundboard.
choice.
No.
I need like a roast meme for the soundboard or something.
What, Audrey, let me ask you a question. All right.
First of all, what I ate for breakfast. I'm gonna I'm gonna flip this table. I actually have a great answer, so you can actually ask me that.
All right. Okay. What did you have for breakfast?
All right, you ready?
I am ready. That's why I asked.
So I had 2 toasts with almond butter and honey, and then I also had Greek yogurt and a banana.
And don't you feel great having done that?
Yes, like I normally do.
I don't know, Audrey. The last 2 times we asked
you had like
you freaking had like a bagel and an almond butter.
Yeah, you weren't having like breakfast of champions like when we were like last time we talked.
Yeah, well, I just added the.
I feel like Audrey, how many times a week do you just like stand in the kitchen holding the almond butter in your hand and sticking a spoon in it and just like eating it straight off the spoon?
All
right. The fact that you're thinking about it means that it's happening.
Audrey, are you eating your 3 square meals a day?
Yes.
What did
were
you
before we decided to sit here and mother hen you?
Yeah, I was. Normally, sometimes I just get like in the zone with editing and I'm just trying to stop doing this where I just forget what time it is and then I just snack. I know. I'm trying to get better at it. Like I sort of did that today where it was like 2 and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. So I just got random.
If it's not on the schedule, it's not a priority. And you can't just eat when you're hungry. You need to schedule your meals and make sure you're refueling and make sure that you're making it a priority, but also that you're not just eating just to get it out of the way. You need to sit down, use it as decompression time. You need to actually savor and enjoy eating.
Amen.
Like it's essential.
You need an amen. You need an amen in your soundboard.
Something like that. I need something like that. But like it's important. It's like it's really important because when you don't sit there and when you don't take the time to actually when you just like which I've done working at the office. I worked at an office job.
That is absolutely what Audrey sounds like.
I worked at an office job, and here's the thing: they would sit there and they would pretend. Here's the thing: they would sit there and they'd pretend to do us favors, disguised as like. Because here's the thing: I don't believe that there's a such thing as the toxic hustle culture. I think that's propaganda, rubbish, and poppycock nonsense. But toxic productivity in
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's a British thing. Like so, like rubbish and poppycock. Like so, yeah. But toxic productivity is real.
Yeah,
people can do that to themselves, but a lot of toxic productivity happens in the workforce, and it happens with employers that are bad bosses or that are overly obsessed with optimization and productivity and infringe on their employees. And so what at the job that I used to have, under the guise of doing us some kind of favor.
That's
like
my chair, Romina.
Yeah, okay.
It was.
That's what everyone said.
Dude.
Everyone said.
No.
But yeah, under the guise of they're thinking that
Alright.
like they were doing some great big favor for us, like, oh, we're gonna order a bunch of pizza and stuff like that. What it was about to, since they could order us a bunch of pizza, we wouldn't leave to go out for lunch. Especially we wouldn't get together in groups and leave to go out for lunch if they ordered us pizza.
Right.
And therefore, for a little bit of money that didn't really do anything for them and everything like that. And under the guys, oh, we saved you some money on going to lunch today. Aren't we so great? And also, oh, you don't have to leave. You can have it here. It means that we're more likely to go back to our desk. We're more likely to not spend too much time socializing because we're already there. And then we go right back and we eat at our desk, or we eat through lunch, or do this. It was a hack. It was a hack that they would use to do that.
Yeah.
Under the guise of generosity.
Right.
And because what's really generous is when they take you to lunch and cover lunch. That's generosity, because now you're getting a break.
Right.
You're out. You got to walk around. You got some much needed exercise walking to the restaurant and stuff like that. You got some socialization and you got like all of that. You're
the same thing too. The same thing is you're not really getting nutrients from pizza. I mean, pizza's all fine and well. I mean, depending on the toppings you're putting on it, but it's like 95% bread, right?
Yeah.
Especially
so they're giving us like unhealthy. They're giving us an unhealthy like meal.
Fuel, yeah. They're not fueling you up, and
they're not
like that's like the number one thing in like low budget films too, like low budget projects in Hollywood.
Oh, in terms of like craft services.
Yeah, not even craft services, right? I mean, we're talking like, oh yeah, we're breaking for lunch, guys. We just ordered like 10 pizzas. And it's like that's for the entire like cast and crew. Everybody like grabs a slice and then we're done. But it's not really food, like food would be ordering some kind of catering from a Mexican restaurant, ordering some kind of catering from a Mediterranean restaurant, right? Like getting catering. That's like actual
getting
lunch.
Some like Panera bread at least. Come on.
Right. But like for film sets, like, yeah, the whole pizza thing is like, it's kind of notorious where it's just like, oh, well, yeah, we're getting pizza for like, the 10th time during this entire production. Exactly. After you're filming a week and these meals keep getting repeated, then it starts getting a little exactly.
The only time pizza makes you like that.
Right. Well, it's not really the pizza. It's the sentiment behind it, right?
And again, it's disguised as doing you.
Exactly. Lack of effort.
Also, again, disguised as doing you some favor.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of like in the same way that you would do it when you're working with a crew or with a team, like at an office. You have to do it for yourself too, right? As an individual, you got to set aside that time, like Roberto was saying before. It's kind of like a meditative state, right? Like you're just you're entering this this zone, this safe space where you're just focused on eating and being and relaxing and unwinding and refueling your body, but not just your body physically, but also your mind and your spirit, right?
Yeah.
It's just a moment to just kind of recalibrate. Even if it is just 10 minutes. I mean, like, I don't need an hour to eat, right? It's like,
but I still think you should take one. Maybe at most
it's like 15 minutes, right? It's just like,
no one needs an hour for that, but you should still take one, because it's about also just decompressing and letting your mind run other processes instead of trying to optimize for productivity.
Right. Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is like, you don't need a whole bunch of time to really do it, because 15 minutes is a long time. Like if you really think about it. And if you're just sitting and not doing anything, but if you're running around and like eating at the same time, right? You're not like sitting down and actually having a meal, then you're not really focusing on what you're doing.
For a lot of people, again, a lot of that hour is usually some of it could be even making your meal if you're making a healthy meal, or it could be going to a place so that you can then sit down and eat and then come back, whether that's walking or driving or whatever. Again, I think an hour is, and that's why, again, I also believe in that hour long lunch break that you're supposed to have. Here's the thing though, back in the day, it really was back in the day. It really
you need
was.
That. You got to record that and put that on the soundboard.
Back in my day. Yeah. Back in the day. Like, yeah, actually, I might have to do that. All right. So, like, but it was but the thing is, the 9 to 5.
No, I mean, like taking the actual break. I mean,
the
when
9
I
to
put
5
the break
was a
in
9
my
to 5,
calendar, I do the same thing.
and your hour lunch break was included in that.
Yeah.
So you actually were working for 7 hours with an hour-long lunch break, and then you had probably 2 10 or 15-minute breaks. And so you really were the Ford thing. But see, then they changed everything because like no one really works from 9 to 5.
Right.
They work from 8:30 to 5:30. Right. And again, that's because what they did was they accommodated for some extra. They gave you your lunch break, mandated in many cases by the state, and then. But they're like, oh, but we still gonna get 8 hours out of you. So you're gonna work 8 hours and you're gonna get an hour lunch. We know you got your commute. So it's like, yeah, we take half your day, you sleep for 8 hours, and then you have nothing really left. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. Now what happens is you do have people, I think, working for yourself. If you work for yourself and you like what you do, I think you can have a healthy hustle, because the thing is, it would be working 4 hours and bragging that, oh, I only work 4 hours, or I work 6 hours, or I work 8 hours and that's it, and then I'm done for the day and everything like that. But you're doing shit you hate. And then you're going to sit there and compare that to somebody working 10 or 12 hours doing something they love. No. Just because you're working less hours doesn't mean that you're being healthier or smarter or doing better self-care or self-awareness, or that you're not part of toxic hustle culture. Because I'll be real with you. I don't believe in toxic hustle culture, but if I did, toxic hustle culture is every 9 to 5er, not the entrepreneur doing what they love and building something and keeping all of the revenue for the most part and building their hopes and dreams and everything like that. Toxic hustle culture exists if you work in a 9 to 5 job and you're working 8 hours and then clocking out, where it's really 9 or 10 hours with the commute, 12 or 11 hours really between the commute, the prep, and like actually not decompressing. Those people aren't working less than an entrepreneur if you really think about it. And they're working at something where they get the least amount of benefit out of the effort that they put in, because they're getting scraps out of the value that they created because it's being resold for 10 times or 100 times more. Okay. Entrepreneur works for themselves. They keep 80 to 90% of their profits, at least at gross profit, probably 30% net after cost, expenses, and after taxes. But that's still more of the value that they created than what an employee gets. So if you are an employee, you're part of either toxic productivity or what, if you want to call it hustle culture, fine. But don't put that on people doing what they love. Musicians, YouTubers, artists, streamers, they're doing shit they love all day. So if they want to do that for 10 or 12 hours, that's not them not living their life. They are living their best life. That's not them grinding and working themselves to death. That's them grinding and working for their dream, not somebody else's. Yeah.
Preach.
True. Preach.
Yeah, I was just I was just working on a project right before I hopped on here, and I was and I didn't want to stop, but I knew that I had to, mainly because of eye strain, which is why I'm wearing the glasses now.
Do yours have blue blockers built in, or?
Yeah, these are just computer glasses.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What did you guys eat for breakfast?
So in my case, I had 2 bananas, I had some eggs, and I had some yogurt, and I had some toast, I think I want to say. But I also had because I just took another one of it, but I also had at some point in the morning athletic greens. So I had like a full helping of vegetables.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's what's up. I had a bowl. And it had quinoa, black beans, chicken,
that sounds like
corn, peppers.
It sounds like lunch.
Yeah, and
what time did you eat this at?
I don't know, in the morning. I think it was like 10:30, maybe like 10.
You had lunch for breakfast.
I had brunch. Nah, man. Here's the thing. I don't think it matters like what you eat, right? Like sometimes I got steak in the morning, right? Like
in theory,
you get steak and eggs.
What you had was healthy. you had a healthy Latin diet, so I'm not gonna really dunk on you for it. So it's fine.
Yeah, man.
And a healthy, organic Latin diet, so it's like it's fine.
But then did you have lunch if you eat at 10:30?
You woke up, but you woke up
I woke up at 7. I wake up every day at 7:45.
Interesting. Okay.
I wake up every day at 7:45. Sometimes earlier because I wake up before my alarm. Because I'm too excited about getting the day started. And I typically have breakfast like right after I wake up. So I have it a little bit earlier, maybe like 8:30 around there. But but sometimes I'll have a meeting in the morning, or I'll have like a project I want to get done, or if I have to make phone calls, like sometimes calling like departments, you know, like corporations, like banks or whatever, stuff like that. It's better to do it early in the morning.
Yes.
Because like later during the day, then you start getting into their wait lists, and then you're waiting on the line for like an hour. As opposed to in the morning, if you just call, you hop on after like 5 minutes. You got an operator. So yeah, in like cases like that, or if I decide to commute somewhere and go to work somewhere, then I might just do it straight up after waking up in the morning, and then I'll eat a little bit later, like 9 or 10ish, at the place where I'm at. You know, a little bit of variety, but for the most part, I usually have breakfast somewhere between 8:30, 8:30, latest like 10:30.
Nice.
This is schedule, and then I'll have like a lunch, like I'll have a treat, something that's maybe like a parfait, or maybe I'll make myself a smoothie, or like I'll make a snack, like I can make myself a sandwich, like a PB&J banana sandwich or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I eat multiple times throughout the day.
Same.
And then in between my meals, I'll have snacks, which are usually like bars. Like they look like, it looks like bird food. I like eating the nuts. I've got like peanuts, I've got like trail mix, like nutrition bars and stuff like that. I like all that, like trail mix, like a little bird.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I like those things. And today I had a root beer float.
Ooh. Did you make that, or did you go somewhere?
No, I made it because I got root beer. I got a root beer from Cracker Barrel in my refrigerator.
Ooh, and Cracker Barrel! I haven't been there in forever.
Right. I mean, it's the best place to get your root beer. So I got my root beer from Cracker Barrel, and then I've got my vanilla ice cream, and I made myself a root beer float. In celebration of life.
Wow. That's what I say too. Every time I had a Pop-Tart today, it was a celebration of life.
Did you really have a Pop-Tart?
You know, I have a funny story about the Pop-Tart. So I went to the grocery store and I accidentally took someone else's cart because I just wasn't paying attention apparently. And I walked away with this dude's cart. And, like, I realized that I had not picked up Pop-Tarts, and there were Pop-Tarts in the cart. So I'm like, oh, God, this isn't mine. And I go back to the dude. I'm like, I'm so sorry I stole your Pop-Tarts. And he was like, you should get some. And I was like, you're right. So I literally got Pop-Tarts. Just the dude told me I should get sold.
What flavor? Yep. Like, what was in your Pop-Tart?
Cookies and cream. Yep. The best. Well, actually, I think the strawberry ones are the best.
You know, I was never really like a Pop-Tart girl.
What? Pop-Tarts are incredible. They're so not nutritious like at all.
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't find it appetizing.
For me, it's more like I liked them when I was little. Like we didn't get them that often, so it's kind of like I can get Pop-Tarts.
I guess you know what what I used to like though. I guess like the thing for me wasn't really Pop-Tarts. I never really had those, but the fruit roll-up, fruit by the foot. That was it. You know, like
I
that
remember
was
fruit
like
by the foot.
really,
I actually still buy those every now and again.
I should get one of those, man, just to like, yeah, just to like whet my appetite. I have not had one of those in a very long time, I feel like, and I'm not really sure if I would like it, to be quite honest.
Maybe you don't want to like ruin it, you know?
Yeah, should I not?
I mean, I think you still might like them.
Is this a video idea? Trying Pop-Tarts? Trying fruit roll-ups for the first time in 20 years.
I would watch that.
Some kind of like nostalgia challenge, eating all your favorite childhood snacks.
Ooh,
rating all no rate actually no better rating all of the childhood snacks. Like that would be ranking all of the best childhood snacks. That would do it. That's a title. That's a video.
Nostalgia challenge.
Yeah, nostalgia.
The nostalgia challenge.
I mean, we'll think of it as that, but it's just call it the childhood snacks challenge. You know?
Yeah, but I can put that in the thumbnail photo.
Yeah, you can put it in the yeah. Like you can put that in thumbnail or something like that. But it's gotta be it's gotta be a ranking video. It's gotta be one of those videos where you're rating a ranking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be that tier list. Do that on stream. That tier list shit. Yeah. Gotta do that tier list thing.
Gotta go. I gotta think about all the. Ooh, you know what was another one? The rings, the candy rings. You know what I'm talking about?
Ring pops. You're talking about ring pops.
Yeah. There you go. That's the one. I was not a fan of those either. I thought it was kind of like. No, because I thought it was like gross. Like it felt weird to me to have like just like plastic to like suck on. I don't know. Like it felt weird.
Every kid had either proposed or had someone propose with a damn ring pop when they were a kid. Like, depending on what era you come from, that actually still is a thing people do as a cute thing when they grow up. Is they'll propose.
What
to
are you
somebody
doing? What is that?
I'm pouring water into water.
All right, let's be clear for the audio listeners.
I'm pouring water into water. Pouring my water into a bigger water.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could sound like a lot of things, so I just wanted to make clear. For all of you who have just joined the chat, welcome. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on notifications. Hit the bell for Roberto's sake. He's dying.
This is it for me. This is the end.
Okay, I will say though. Oh my god, do you have the black lung?
No, it's that we're very poorly designed. You know those pipes.
Okay, you're poorly designed. I ain't.
No, that the thing that the food goes down should not be the thing that the air needs. Like that's not great design.
Wait, I have I will say, going back to the topic.
We also need more ball and socket joints.
Okay. I feel like Audrey does a really good job of being active. At least better than me.
Oh, she's a runner. She's
I am not.
I've started lifting too.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, okay. All right. We got ourselves a badass.
Dude, I want to be Lara Croft for Halloween.
You've become one of those people.
Motivation.
I wanted to be Lara Croft too.
Romina could actually cosplay Lara Croft.
Excuse me?
Well, if Audrey's lifting weights, then maybe she's
Romina, you're one. I think Romina, aren't you technically the same height as Laura? And then you have the hair.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can cosplay her the same way you cosplay Mikasa. You can cosplay Lara Croft.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have the photos and like I have the prep stuff because I was gonna do it for a for Dragon Con, I think it was.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, I'm still
going. Is that
going.
your Dragon Con or Comic Con?
I'm still going. Like I'm just vaxxed and mask, and then but I'm still going. As long as Dragon Con is just requires the vaccine passport. But I'm still going.
Yeah, I mean, you do you, man.
Going. My friends and I are finally having our reunion after all this time. We're doing.
I want to go back to Audrey's exercise regimen.
Sure.
Oh, God.
Tell us about it, Audrey. How did you get started? How have you continued to do it? How often do you work out every week? I have a lot of questions.
Do you even lift this?
Yeah, do you even lift this?
That's pretty new, though.
Tell us all the things. How did you start?
Well, why
Who inspires you?
I mean, I started in high school because I don't know. That's kind of what got me into the rhythm, the working out consistently. Did soccer and cross country, and then when I went to
just like
college,
Roberto, you did soccer and cross country, just like me.
And then when I went to college, I didn't know how to I had never worked out in a gym. I always was doing running, basically, whether it's on a field or on outside on the streets. So I wasn't familiar really with weightlifting at all. Oh, do you guys want to hear a fun story? Here, this is part of my motivation.
Tell us a story.
I had a soccer coach who was awful. He did not like me for whatever reason. And I was always really tiny.
Why do you think he didn't like you? What made you feel that way?
Oh, I'll tell you this story. It's just, I don't think he didn't like me. I was very small and I was playing the striker. And I refused to do tackles on people I knew where I would die. There's a lot of people on my team getting concussions all the time. And my mom told me if I ever got a concussion, that was the end of my soccer career. So I avoided them like the plague. I did not want to get a concussion or die.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've always been super tiny, especially in high school. I was really just small.
Small.
Which was good for cross country, but not soccer.
If you're small, then what am I?
Small.
You're freaking taller than me.
Both of you.
I was tall, but I was just
both of you are small.
I didn't have any muscle.
SMOL. Small.
I didn't have any muscle.
Continue.
Right? Besides a little bit of legs because of running. That's literally it. So one day my amazing coach comes. He was nice. I don't know what his deal was, but this type of stuff, when you say to kids, they don't forget. He told me one day, I was leaving the gym and he was he called me by my last name. So he's like,
Ember.
No.
Oh yeah.
He'd be like, have you ever been to McDonald's before? And I was like, yes. He's like, you should eat a Big Mac every once in a while. And I was like, all right. And I just left because I was 14. I had no idea what to say to that. But that
There's
type
not
of stuff,
really a good comeback for that one.
No. No.
I mean, unless he's got a belly, and then you say it, it's like, all right, tell you what, I'll eat more of them if you eat less of them. That's the ultimate burn.
I mean, it was just completely out of nowhere, and I was like, all right. And I don't know, I've never been the type to be really strong. So now I feel like I'm in the phase where I want to actually get some muscle.
I see.
It's just something I've never done.
How are
before.
you? What's your process? Did you buy little?
I started doing that. I started lifting
weights?
in my 20s.
Did you buy little weights? What are you doing?
I mean, I got a gym membership a couple months ago. So, and during quarantine, I started just using my little weights and stuff. But I definitely was mainly running just because it's not easy to do.
I did the opposite. I need to work my way back up the running. I've been walking and jogging. I need to work my way back up the running.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to get more consistent with going to the gym and just learning how to lift weights. Because I know the basics. My dad has taught me the basics of lifting and just working out in a gym. But I feel like his focus was always upper body mostly and a little bit some legs. But he just ran. That was kind of his legs. So I'm trying to learn both.
You need to focus on full body and core. And if you want strength, but not size, because I think you might want a little bit of size, but what you really need is you need definition and strength. This is what I focused on when I was your age. When I was your age, back in my day, when I was your age, what I did is for a full body core, what I did was I did things I did bar dips and I did a lot of pull-ups. I became the pull-up king, for real. In fact, actually, when I went to, I don't know if you were there for this one, Romina, when I went to 368 though, when I went to 368, I actually did enough pull-ups to get my name up there on that board. And like, yeah,
there's a board?
like, yeah, there was a board for most number of pull-ups. Like Casey obviously is the leader on that board, but actually no, Jesse Wellings was. So because he's like diesel as hell.
He's
but like, yeah, he's all the
he's like
all the
RoboCop. He's like,
yeah, I know, right? Damn Terminator. But anyway, I did a healthy amount of like pull-ups with no prep right there, because I was still back then I was also still in a lot better shape, and so like, but even back then. But when like when I was your age in my 20s, I did things that strengthened like your whole body, but also so I was able to keep speed, agility. I didn't want to put on a bunch of size. I focused on definition and tone. So like I was doing you know, a lot of these, and I was doing the pull-ups and stuff like that, push-ups. I could knock out push-ups like for real. I could like kill it in terms of push-ups. Drop and give me 50, no problem. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I could probably.
I want to get better at that.
I probably do 20 or 30 without struggling or dying, but it's like, but it'll be a lot of effort, and I'll almost die. But yeah, now, but I'm gonna work my way back up to where that doesn't kill me anymore. But my point is, you're working out your core, your full body, doing things that also strengthen the back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you know, I would also do pull downs. So I would like do that. So it was about doing the types of exercises that give me the ability to control my own body and to be able to manage the to really manipulate my own body. You know, in terms of, okay, because think about it, with push-ups, you're pushing yourself up off the ground. With pull-ups, you're lifting yourself up. Even with pulling something else down, you're using your own body to pull something down that's kind of more or less like it's part of center of gravity training type situation. So it's and also maintaining your own position while exerting the force to pull something. So it was really more about what natural exercises lead to me being the master of my body as it is, and just refining my body down to its strength. It wasn't about gaining more muscle. It was about really maximizing the usage of what my body already was, if that makes sense. Yeah. I wanted to carve myself down to metal, you know?
I guess I'm also trying to focus on just like
planking was something I did too,
not necessarily being super huge. I just want to be stronger and like, you know.
Yeah, focus on definition training then focus on definition training, because that's what I did. I focused on being toned, defined, and cut. I didn't want to be bigger. I wanted to be lean. I wanted to shave off any excess. I wanted to just be solid.
I think I'm definitely probably more trying to grow muscle than it sounds like you were, though. Because I feel like I'm already pretty, like I'm fine with like the running and stuff. I think it's literally just putting on more muscle that I'm interested in.
It can be lean. It can be lean muscle though instead of bulk.
Lean muscle, not like.
So that's also.
I want to be like huge. I think that'd be weird
reps.
for me anyway.
So by the way, that's also reps. You know what'll do it more than anything, Ember? It's swimming.
Oh yeah, but see, I already run. Like I don't do any cardio.
It's a different set of.
I'm already.
Swimming is not cardio. It's a different. I mean, it is cardio, but like it's a different set of muscles, and it's like it's resistance training. You will become stronger, stronger. It's like, I mean, think about it. By the way, there's a reason. Like, in addition to the training that these guys do in terms of like when they're not really doing specifically their boxing training and everything like that, they do stuff like swimming.
Yeah. It's true.
Swimming was one of the things that when me and the boys were doing Fight Club, like swimming was also part of like our regiment in terms of stuff and everything like that. It was really like good. Like it was really, and then think also, just remember triathlon athletes, it's running, biking, swimming. Running, biking, swimming.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that TikTok about the triathlon athletes who And the guy's just like commenting about how they're insane the entire time. Now they're all like dead on the finish line. He's like, why would anyone do this willingly? They're all just like actually passed out. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Suffering.
All right.
That's all you have signed on for.
I also want to do kickboxing, but I haven't found anywhere yet.
I'm going Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, you're in the place, Audrey. There's a lot of martial arts and boxing and workout places.
It's just a matter of finding one.
Justine's a damn ninja. Justine's a damn ninja.
What does she do?
Everything.
Like everything.
She did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because again it's suited to people who have smaller bodies types like us, but she also went ahead and decided to spend all of COVID mastering weapons training on top of it. And so she literally can use
that's awesome.
She can use bow staff, swords, and nunchucks. Which the nunchucks I never really got the hang of without injuring myself, to be honest, and everything like that. I think I almost did give myself a concussion with the nunchucks one time, but I actually have mastered multiple bladed weapons. Oh, she's also already good at throwing projectiles. Justine's already been good at throwing knives and axes already for years, and stuff like that. People don't understand. Like Justine is like an omega level threat.
That's awesome.
Like, she's an omega level threat. Like Justine is like, if I had to go head to head with Justine, even with my own martial arts training and my weapons training and experience, it would be a contest. And I'm not sure I'd win. It'd be the ultimate.
I mean, she knows how to use swords. It's over.
I know how to use swords, though. I've been using swords since I was 15 years old. Like, I know how to use swords. Live steel. I did live steel training from the time I was 15 years old. Actual live steel weapons. I've been using throwing knives and shurikens since I was 15 years old. Was it?
That'd
14?
be fun.
15. Yeah, 15. I actually know how to properly throw throwing knives and shurikens. I can actually catch bladed weapons. I can like sit there. I used to be able to actually juggle knives. I can't juggle anymore for shit, but I can throw and catch knives. And I'm actually pretty good at. I can throw knives and hit blade first when I want to. Like I can do it, and I can actually sink knives into a target. Like I'm pretty decent as far as weapon training goes. I've had firearms training too, and I am very, very proficient in short swords as well as katanas. Like I'm like decent with a bow staff. I'm not as stylish with the flare as Justine, but it's like I'm very effective. So again, I think like if we were having a lightsaber duel, I think she might beat me, but then she gets more style points. I think she might beat me though. Like it'd be interesting. I would definitely go and do a Star Wars fan film with Justine for real. Like that would be the ultimate collab. But I think she'd beat me. I honestly think she'd beat me. It'd be rough. I might be able to sneak in a couple of points and pull out the win, pull out the W, but like I think she'd beat me. At least this thing stands now.
That's what we should do instead of boxing matches. We should have sword fights.
Can they be lightsaber duels?
Maybe this is the next thing.
Can they be lightsaber duels? Can we like? Can they be lightsaber duels? And then we have someone rotoscope the effects.
Oh my god! I would watch that over a boxing match. And I don't even like Star Wars. So
yeah, like I think this would be. I think this would be like. Think about it. Think about if we just had a bunch of YouTubers, lightsaber duels, like, yeah, lightsaber duels. Like, I could be down. This could work. Like, it's, yeah.
My
Star Wars in real life. Yeah, I can do it.
My friend did do a wizard duel. He made a video.
What?
Yeah, he did a wizard duel, and I was part of the video. It was really cool. He made like he used tens units. You know the tens. You know what those are, right? They're the little patches that you put on your skin that are connected to.
Yeah, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're connected to. They like zap you. It's meant for like therapy, right? The tens units. But like you can set different levels of it. And so he programmed a system where with wands, like actual like physical wands, that if you pointed it and like did a whole thing,
basically stun batons.
You could like it was all wireless, and it would activate the TENS units that you had on your body in like different areas that were related to the spell that you were
Oh my god.
that you're doing. Yeah, it's a whole video.
That sounds a little intense.
It's a little much.
They should do that instead of things like paintball.
I'll find it.
Yeah. Mark, I do own swords. I think most of them are in storage at this point. Yeah. But yes, I do in fact own swords. And I think Audrey and Romina have seen my variety, or at least part of my variety of knives. I think both of you are familiar with some of my variety of knives. And old viewers might remember the handy-dandy bat knives. I used to have Batman logoed themed throwing knives. And I used to unbox my videos with them. Old viewers will remember this. Old viewers will remember my variety of knives. Yeah. Oh, speaking of my variety of knives. Yes, I do keep one right here on the desk at all times. Yeah.
Video blurry, Romina.
What?
Yes.
Did you hear it? Okay. I was making sure.
No, yeah, it's been like that since the beginning.
What, my qualities? Freaking internet.
What's what that little knife that you just pulled out? What do you use it for mostly?
Mostly I use this for unboxing stuff. This is a DeWalt, so this is like very nice, very fine quality blade. So, yeah.
I can't really. Yeah, it's fine.
Damn internet.
No, that's something I want to do is just learn like a
Comcast.
bunch of random combat skills as I get like through my 20s. That's my goal. I just want to jump around and do a bunch of stuff. So,
yeah, get some outdoor survival training. Don't go overboard and get like certain military training, because that can be traumatic, believe it or not. You could end up with a little bit of trauma or PTSD if you try to do certain types of training. Don't do SEER training.
no, I mean, I think
and maybe don't let a ranger
some of those
train.
military
Don't let
tests
an
they
army
put
ranger.
you through, just like why?
Yeah.
Like
Don't let an army ranger train.
What about
Like,
Smokey
I'll
the
speak from
Bear?
personal experience. Don't let an army ranger train you. And no offense to any of the men and women who serve. I'm just saying, like, do not let, at least my experience from my hometown, don't let an army ranger train you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have thought about it before.
I want to learn how to shoot stuff.
You can do all that. Oh, okay, all right.
That's easy.
Audrey, you can
Yep.
go to the
As you didn't learn how to shoot stuff, Audrey. You grew up in Georgia.
Surprisingly, there's not really a lot of ranges, to be fair, because I
That's
actually
fair.
looked for them, because when I moved, I used to do it a lot in LA, but when I moved, I like stopped because there just weren't really a lot of places to do that kind of thing there.
I mean, also, I don't think I was really interested in it when I was younger.
Well,
So.
there's a couple spots I could give you for that. I did Jedi training. I did sword training.
What?
I also did like
Explain
I did.
this Jedi training.
Roberto was
essentially
very
what-
interested.
It's essentially what Justine
Oh, I see.
did.
Is it like a one-off class, or it's like you show up regularly?
There's multiple ones. I mean, there's so many of them.
Yeah, I think there's like legit official Jedi academies at this point.
I also did kung fu.
Ooh.
Like
there needs to be a Sith academy.
learning how to use like kung fu, like traditional kung fu weapons, which are insane. Like they're
What
huge.
style of kung fu did you learn? Hungar kung fu or?
I started to do this right before I left.
I see.
I just focused on using the weapons, so it wasn't
I
like
see.
a style. It was just like figuring out, like
Weapons
learning
training,
different. Yeah. And that was like really random because like I did it out in a park, so it was
I
like
see.
I was just
That
like,
doesn't
out
shock
there.
me.
I was
When I
just
lived
out
in
there
New
with, like,
York-
weapons like
when I lived in New York, I learned Muay Thai in the park and everything. There was a dude in Bryant Park who did free Muay Thai lessons for anyone who wanted to learn. So I learned, like this is like over a decade ago when I lived and worked in New York, at the ad agency. On the weekends, I'd go out to Bryant Park and learn Muay Thai in the park, and it was great. They had a lot of stuff out at Bryant Park, like as far as people doing stuff. You had yoga, you had all kinds of stuff. There were like all kinds of musicians and performers and all kinds of cool shit. It was always a good time. But yeah, Muay Thai in the park was like a real, that's like some of my like fondest memories of that time when I lived in New York. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the place to do the thing, Audrey. There's a lot of places.
Definitely will soon. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could probably do them now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have to just like pick one and then see if they're doing it. They might even just have like one-on-ones, or like smaller classes, which I think ultimately is better for this sort of thing because you learn more. Because sometimes if the classes are too big, you're kind of just like learning the essentials, like the basics, but you aren't actually doing it.
Yeah. I also think it depends if you find like a really good coach. Right. Like when I was in Shanghai, I was doing kickboxing in the gym. I found it was just awesome. Like it was kind of small, and the coach was awesome, and that made like all the difference. So. I don't really want to find somewhere that's more commercial because I feel like you can't have that
that same one-on-one type of relationship.
Even though they were group classes, it was just smaller and like not commercialized and super organized in that sense. So that's why it's kind of hard to find, especially in LA. I feel like there's so many that I've seen anyway. I haven't dug into it enough, but all the things I've seen are like super big companies that have like 10 locations.
Yeah, just find a local dojo and everything like that. Maybe you got to go down to the valley and join Cobra Kai.
Well, I am in the valley, so
yeah. So there you go. Just go over to the Cobra Kai dojo.
Yeah, knock on his door.
So yeah, just go over to the Cobra Kai dojo and tell him Roberto Sensei sent you, and it'll work out.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Cobra Kai never dies.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my god, I can't wait for season 4. Oh my god, I cannot wait for season 4.
Did you guys see the Spider-Man trailer?
Yes.
No.
It broke Endgame's record on the amount of views.
Oh my god.
I don't watch trailers.
What do you mean you don't watch trailers?
Wow.
I don't.
What does that mean?
I just don't want. I don't want.
I did not mean for the wow. I meant for the.
Yeah, I was about to say why the.
In fact, actually, I meant for the.
Dude, the only thing I don't like is teaser trailers. Like, why not just give us one?
And they were forced to do this trailer because it leaked, and they were like, which was amazing. Like it's like Connor.
Yeah. You see, look at the chat, guys. Look at the chat. I'm not the only one. Wait, it's a thing.
Was it the main one that leaked, or was it the teaser that leaked?
It was the details of the main one that leaked.
Oh.
It was like basically almost like the script for the entire trailer. I won't be shocked if I won't read it, or I won't read the headlines. If the entire movie script leaks, I won't be shocked, but I ain't gonna partake. The Matrix 4, that entire thing is spoiled, and we basically know that we know the whole thing because Geekdom was told what the main points and plots and everything were. He made a video on it. Warner Brothers literally called him up and told him that they wanted to take it down. They tried to go the copyright thing, and he refuted it with YouTube. And so it's like, yeah, if you guys ain't gonna sue me, bro, then it's like thing. And by the way, if you're gonna go, it's like, so wait, you have to confirm my leak then? Is like his whole thing was, well, if you actually want to claim copyright, because unless you are saying, if you're claiming copyright, then you're saying that I got it right. that I knew that everything I said was the truth. And so give me my clout is like, he was, I'll take it down, but admit that like my thing was accurate. Even if you can't let me make a video and say I got it right, it's like, he just like, just tell me that my stuff is accurate, satisfy my own curiosity or my own ego here, and I'll take it down as a favor to y'all. But if not, leave me alone and leave my video alone, because unless you're willing to say I got it right, then you're saying that it's speculation on my part or fan fiction. So either confirm or deny, but you can't have it both ways. And I'm like, get them, geekdom, because like so we know what the Matrix 4 is now. Like we know. And the thing is, and we know that he's right and about the leaks because they just made some kind of press announcement about some of it, and everything that they said in it, he had in his video. So that's that. Like it's we know.
Why do we want to know?
I don't want to know personally. I think it's more interesting that it got leaked, and that I think it's more interesting that all these companies can't stop the damn leaks, and that they're right. Right, like the leaks about the Kevin Smith He-Man were 100% right. It's like the leaks about the Powerpuff Girls were so accurate and so right that one of the main actresses walked off the show entirely now, and that project's basically scrapped, or they got to recast it because she was like, I'm out. Like they had to can everything they had for that show, and like Kevin Smith got ate up for what happened with He-Man, and also for trying to gaslight people into believing that it wasn't what the guy, I think the guy's name on Twitter was Clownfish or whatever. It was exactly what the dude said it was, and he got ate up by people. I like Kevin Smith, but it's like, man, it's like, don't mess with people's nostalgia for the 80s or 90s, homie. It's like, don't do it. Like, you want to write an original story, you want to do something subversive, you do, and you find your own original characters to do it with. You don't mess with people's childhood. They will come for you, and you'll deserve it. Like, so don't do that. Learn from Rian Johnson's mistakes. Like, there's, don't do it, y'all. Grow spine. Write some original characters. Be willing for your thing to flop on its own merit. Do not try to shoehorn your narratives into people's childhood nostalgia. Don't do it. Don't try to reimagine or reinvent people's stuff that they grew up with. Leave it alone. You want to give it a fresh coat of paint and animation? You do that. I mean, the He-Man of 2002 did it right. No one complained. The Thundercats of the 2000, no one complained. Like, why? Because they didn't. Even with that, they rewrote the origin stories of a lot of those things in an interesting way that didn't disrespect people's childhood. Like, people were cool with the idea of reimagining the Thundercats in a context of how they did it. People were fine. People were excited. People were like, yeah, the thing didn't get another season, though. That was the problem. Like, people were fine with that. People were fine with a lot of things. People like, you know what people love? They love the new Superman and Lois because they didn't make an edgy, angry Superman. They gave us a wholesome Superman, and they made it work in the context of today without trying to be edgy and be something different or be woke or do any of it. People love Lois and Superman and Lois. They love that. When they want to tell new stories, they use the kids. Or they use the villain, and that's that. Like, so I mean, yeah, like I think it's interesting. I don't want to watch the leaks, or I don't want to really read the leaks. I think it's interesting that big companies can't stop these damn leaks. I think that what's happening with John Prosser accurately leaking all the Apple stuff for the last 3 years, and they haven't been able to stop him. That's amazing.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Like,
how have they not figured it out yet? People must just... Does he pay the leakers? Like, how does...
No, and they come to him. That's the thing.
Dang.
I mean, personally, I probably would have figured it out by now, to be real. Like, just saying, I have my ways. I would have figured it out.
I feel like Apple would probably be prioritizing it. No,
they have an internal task force, and they've failed. Like, if this was anime, and like they were like trying to find Kira in Death Note, like they would be. It's like they would be that level of bumbling incompetence of like the Kira task force without L. For those of you who are anime nerds, you know what's up. Like it's hilarious how bad they are at this. It's like it's amusing to me. I'm entertained. Just saying, I'm entertained.
I don't know much about it. I just know that he always leaks things.
Yeah. Something you might know about, like, do we know what's going on with the Jake Paul Tyrone Woodley fight?
I heard briefly about that. I have no idea. Is he actually a real fighter this time? Like with boxing?
Wow.
The person he's going against? Is he actually boxing related?
It's a boxer. It's like a boxer. It's like, I mean, it's a boxer.
I'm not impressed by Jake Paul.
As far as his fight record, I am.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like he like cherry picks.
Not really.
Well,
it's not that these people come for him. He doesn't cherry pick. These people come for him, for the bag. Like,
yeah.
And to like, and I don't like this guy. I want to knock this fucking kid out.
It's just kind of what the industry is. That's just how it is.
If like people don't understand, like he's actually a really good fighter, and he's actually in really fantastic shape. Like he's a real athlete.
I mean, the guy's a beast.
Bad, but
he's a beast.
I don't have to love him, by the way.
Right.
Why is he not fighting boxers though? You know what I mean?
But some boxers have some ego about them, and a lot of them feel like they're too proud to, think about it. It's like, and then also pride wise, what if a real boxer, like a real boxer goes in and gets their ass beat by Jake Paul, which could happen whether anyone wants to admit it or not, their career is over. What are they like? I mean, they'll get a nice payday, but their career is over because who wants to be the first legit boxer to lose to Jake Paul? They won't. I mean, I hate to have to be the guy to stand up for Jake Paul here. I hate to have to be the guy to stand up for Jake Paul here, but it's like, think about it. He actually is a legitimate threat. He is actually a legitimate fighter, but no one wants to be the person that legitimizes him by fighting him because they have nothing to gain and everything to lose. They have nothing to gain because as much as everyone, and the boxers are scared of him. They really are, because again, if you have to lose to this punk YouTuber, not only are you a meme for life, you will be a meme for life.
The real threat.
But you're like, which is the real, but you're like, you're a joke now. Like you are a punchline. Why would you just say nah? And then you could sit there and you could just mock him and then never take the challenge and you'll be fine. And no one will really sweat you for it and call you out for it. No one wants to be the first actual career prize fighter to lose to Jake Paul. And it could really happen. It could really happen. You gain nothing. You get a payday one time and your life is over and you're a meme.
That's worse than like a lot of things.
Yeah. Think about it. Everybody has been embarrassed. And then to have to know that in the long track record of people who've lost to Jake Paul, that the only person in Jake Paul's entire boxing career who's giving him a decent fight is freaking Deji. To know that for all y'all, Deji did more damage than all of y'all, that's an embarrassment, man. Who's gonna live that down? Who's gonna live that down? Like, that's it. Like, that's game over, man. Like,
bruh.
I think that was the perfect description. If a boxer loses to Jake Paul, it's the biggest bruh of all time.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Like, so, I mean, but here's the thing. I feel bad for him because he's not being taken seriously because of this. He got too good too fast. Everybody everybody is like, oh, he's gonna lose. Oh, he's got oh, this person's gonna finally be the person to take him down. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that kid get punched in the mouth. And guess what? Everybody says all this good stuff. They talking all this smack, and then what happens? They get freaking one round. Like one round, some of them one punch. It's freaking ridiculous. I mean, you either one of two things is happening. He's either that good, or everyone's taking a dive and betting against themselves and getting the bag and everything like that. So everyone is either massively corrupt and bought off, or he's that good.
Who do you think would win, Logan or Jake?
Stats wise, in terms of like what the like logical fighting, like science would say, it should be Logan. Jake is infinitely more aggressive and vicious, and I think that Logan would get gassed because I think he's much more vicious, and then even though it's his brother and he loves him, I think that he'd be more motivated to finally really step out of his brother's shadow. I think that Jake would give Logan a worse and harder fight than KSI did. But to be very real with you, I think outside, unless it is a legitimate boxer who doesn't underestimate Jake Paul and goes in to knock him out as quickly as possible and that takes him seriously, unless it's someone like that, the only person that I really believe will give Jake a real fight, but he has to train and he has to get back up to his peak, and he'd have to want it. Because the thing is, the only reason, like I think KSI could beat Jake Paul. I think it'll be close though. But here's the problem: Jake Paul could beat KSI, but KSI could beat Jake Paul. And the problem is, I think JJ is an excellent fighter, and I think he could do it, and he is the YouTube boxing champion. But the problem is, I don't think JJ has the fire and the anger in him, and I don't think he dislikes Jake enough for like. Whereas like Jake has enough. Like Jake is in his like Mike Tyson phase, if you get what I mean. Like Jake is in that phase where Jake is like a aggressive, talented, vicious fighter that genuinely loves to fight, loves to get hit, loves to give hits. I think KSI is much more into his music. He's still got the athleticism for boxing and loves the game, but he doesn't have the anger. I think that would be the difference. And I think that it also is Jake's like weakness in a fighter like KSI that he can't knock out in round one. All KSI has to do is slip up one time and Jake would have him. On the other hand, the longer that fight goes on, JJ wins. So if it's a short fight, Jake wins. If it's a long fight, JJ wins. That's just one man's opinion, though. I haven't seen them both.
Do you think it's gonna happen? I feel like the Jake KSI is just a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. There's a contract, but KSI is prioritizing his music. Yeah, KSI's for it just doesn't have a date. There's a contract. There's just not a date. It's open ended, especially with COVID, because they want to sell tickets. They want seats. They want a spectacle, and that's just not in the cards right now. So maybe in the end of 2022, God willing, but. Because by the time we get that, it'll mean the world's in a better place. So we should really hope for it in that way. But I feel that the longer that fight goes on, the more it's JJ. The shorter that fight would then say that it goes to Jake. You see what, like Romina, you've seen enough fights. Does that make sense?
Sure, why not?
Who would you bet on, Roberto? Would have.
It's rough because again,
KSI just out of
not wanting to bet on Jake Paul.
Yeah.
If I wanted to make the most money, if I wanted to make the most money possible, I would bet on Jake Paul. If I wanted to make the most money possible. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not about who I think
you would win.
Huh?
But so that means you think he would win?
No, I think so many people hate Jake Paul that they'd bet against him, which means that if I bet on KSI, I make less money. If I bet on KSI and I'm right, I make less money. You see what I'm saying?
True.
So you know me and you know how money hungry I am. It's not about who I want to win. It's about where, if I bet on Jake, I make the most money if I win. If I bet on KSI and I win, yeah, I bet on KSI and I win, but I don't make nearly as much money because of the odds.
It's about what'll make you successful.
It's about what makes me the most money. It's not about who I want to win. It's about who fills my coffers.
Wouldn't you lose money?
Huh?
If you bet on Jake, but then he lost, wouldn't you lose money?
Not that much, no. Like I wouldn't lose. Like I can only lose, like based on the odds. I could like based on the odds. If I based on the odds, if I bet on JJ and he loses, I would lose bigger than if I bet on Jake and he loses. See what I'm saying? It's not enough upside for me to like. I would in my heart root for JJ. There's not but if I'm trying to bet to make money, I put my money on Jake and let it ride.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Now here's the thing, based on odds, here's another route you could go in theory. If you do the right calculation based on the odds, you could take out more than one bet and you could just figure out like how to get ahead. You could figure out some weird math and you can figure out how to get ahead of like, okay, no matter what. And the thing is, you could also bet on specific outcomes beyond winning and losing, because you could also bet how many rounds it goes. You could do things like that.
Yeah.
So like you could do enough betting within this to hedge in such a way to where you can only make money.
I still think we should do YouTuber sword fights.
Yeah.
Next.
I'm down.
Or YouTuber curling matches.
Curling?
Why? I veto that. I'm vetoing that.
What? Why?
I'm going to go with Romina here.
Why? It'd be super
Not
intense.
entertaining enough.
Can you imagine the people with the brooms? No.
You know what we have seen? What the sidemen versus
Audrey.
the YouTube All Stars actually used to do soccer matches before this whole COVID thing. There was an annual YouTuber charity event with the sidemen versus YouTube All Stars soccer matches. That was great.
I used to watch those.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, no, that was great.
We should have like more matches like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of Olympics kind of thing, but not really.
I wish that Logan's Challenger Games thing had really gotten some traction, but it might have. He might have been willing to do it every year if it wasn't for COVID, because he did it the year before COVID, and then we had COVID. I would have loved the Challenger Games, and the thing is, I would have man, I could, if I got back in shape, I could have been a contender. Because the thing is, for the long distance stuff, none of those kids beat my old times from back in high school and college. So I was like, dang, if I got into my best shape possible, I could smoke these kids on the track. None of them could beat my old times. None of them beat my old times. I'm like, wow, they're soft. I could, if I got back in this shape, if in my prime, I take some severe satisfaction of knowing that in my prime, I was a better runner than these kids. That's great. So I was like, yeah, if I get back into that, if I could ever reclaim my prime or exceed it, because I didn't even go all out back then. If I just got to my maximum, of what my fitness could be, I'd destroy these kids. Like old man YouTuber coming out of retirement to smoke them on the track. Oh, that'd be delicious. I'd love that.
I remember there was one
petty
guy
part
who
of my
was
heart.
an ex-cross country who ran.
Yeah. There's that part of my heart that's that petty.
Right. Well, guys, should we start wrapping up?
Sure. Do you guys want to see what I've been drawing?
Sure, let's see it. Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
Are you gonna make a
I
patch?
kind of want to draw on my wall, so I'm just doodling random stuff.
That could be a logo for somebody. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That is dope. And you did that all by hand. Sheesh.
I kind of want to draw on my wall, but I don't know if my landlord will let me. Maybe I'll.
You could always just
convince
paint
him.
over it later. I mean, it's not like
I know, but he was saying if there's dark colors, it's hard to like paint over or something. And I was like, not if I paint like 3 times.
See, this is why like I'm just gonna buy a place because then I can do what I want.
No, I'll try and convince him. He's pretty nice, so maybe I can like pitch it.
Yeah. I might paint my room when I get my new place. I might paint my room. Probably paint it coral blue or robin's egg. Soothing.
What is robin's egg?
Nice and soothing.
It's like blue.
It's like it's this very nice calming blue. It's like it'd be like some God, Bob Ross calming ass blue. Yeah.
Yes, it's Bob Ross.
The Bob Ross blue. Do you guys want to see my Bob Ross painting?
It's kind of like it's a very nice robin's egg blue is a very nice turquoise type blue. It's a very nice turquoise blue.
It's at the bottom of my box. Oh.
It's probably somewhere between these two colors on my hat, to be real with you.
Ooh, look.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's you? That's good, Ember. That's really good.
Thank you. I'm a Bob Ross pro. Oh my goodness. Bob Ross is
I wonder if somebody would get views on YouTube just by reacting to like Bob Ross.
Have
Romina,
you seen
this is
Joanne
robin's egg right here.
Videos?
Not in a while. This is robin's egg right here.
Oh, nice. No, Joanna Cedia made like entire videos where she painted like Bob Ross stuff on her wall or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. And I think they did pretty good with views.
I think maybe on my More Roberto Blake channel, I might actually try recreating like famous artists and photographers' work. Could be a good project. Yeah, that could be a good project every once a month trying to. Or just do some art project once a month and show people, hey, well, here's what I like did, and yay, praise me.
Everyone on Instagram.
Something like that.
Cool. My cat just fell out of my closet. That was what that sound was.
It sounded catastrophic.
No. Come here. Oh, do you guys want to see how big he is? Keep in mind, he is 8 months.
Wow. Wowzers.
It's very large.
That is a... You're like a saw puppet, like just a little tricycle coming in.
Oh no. Oh Lord. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and close out the show.
I was looking for the Dr. Puss.
All right, let's close out the show.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the No Something Required podcast, a podcast where we talk about nothing. Tune in next week when we'll have another exciting topic for you. Please remember to like, subscribe, and review, and do all the things. If you enjoyed our program, also, if you're watching in the live audience, give it a thumbs up. We'll be back every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time-ish. This has been your trio of hosts, starting with Rockstar Romina And of course, Audrey needs to be canceled, Ember. And of course, your dark lord of the interwebs, Roberto Blake. Thank you for listening. We'll get you next time. Nah.